Hello and welcome to the Bookings Africa podcast, an interactive show where we introduce you to our team, our products, services, milestones, and share the value proposition for all users. We are pioneering digital work across the continent, and we are on a mission to enable Africans monetize their skills and earn a living online. Join Africa's preferred gig marketplace and find great talent on demand for physical and virtual services.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Bookings Africa podcast. I am your host, Rachael Wanogho, and quite interestingly, your guest for today's episode. How are you guys doing? I know it's quite fancy to hear just me today. So far so good. We've had various members of the BA team, from the founder to operations, products, B2B, customer success, administration, and they've all been here to talk about their work, the various roles that they play at Bookings Africa, as well as the role of Bookings Africa in the gig economy. And we've talked about the great work we're doing, and it's quite imperative that we know that social media is such an important part of the marketing and growth process. So officially, we've made it to episode 7 of our podcast, and I know that 7 is the number of perfection. So I think it is perfect that I get this episode all to myself. Hashtag, I'm just kidding. Calm down. I love having guests over, but today is just going to be me. So in today's episode, I'll be speaking about social media and its widespread impact on the gig economy, my role. I'm going to be talking about my work. And in case I haven't mentioned, let's backtrack a little bit. Let's do a reset of the episode. My name is Rachael Wanogho, and I am currently the content creator / social media manager at Bookings Africa. Right? Okay, so what this basically means is that I handle the daily operations, the management of all our social media accounts. So we're talking about Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and even our blogs and newsletters. Yes, all these things are under my department. So it's quite a handful of channels that I handle, and we do try our best possible to make it work. And I also host the company's podcast, hence my being here. So yay! Lots of moving parts when it comes to social media. And I did talk about being the content creator as well. So the content creation aspect of it, every single image, video, caption, hashtag, in other words, post, is handled by me with the assistance of other team members who preview, they provide ideas, they basically would, put in 1 or 2 inputs when it comes to whatever information that we are sharing out there. So what we're going to do in this episode is basically take a couple of questions that I've received over time when it comes to social media at BA, and even some of my colleagues have sent in their questions, and they just want to know a little bit about what we do. And so this time I'm basically playing a question and answer game, okay? So I'm reading out the questions that you have all asked me, and I'm answering them at the same time. So why not? Let's just get into it. Let's just get into it very quickly. And I do hope you enjoyed this episode. So one of the first questions that I have here today is, being on social media, being able to reach anyone at any time, what would I say the experience feels like? Wow. So the experience of social media. Okay, so first things first. I think the experience is a combination of 2 things. I think it combines fun, it combines a whole lot of work. So it's fun, but it's also taxing at the same time. And to answer the question, I would say that it's not so much about me being able to reach anyone at any point in time. I think what makes it such a wholesome experience, I would define that experience as wholesome. And I'll say what makes it so wholesome is that if somebody wants to know about Bookings Africa, be it a new employee, a new partner, a new client, one of the first points of contact is social media. Yes, so they want to know, who are we online? Our online voice. Are we a relatable brand? Are we keeping up with the trends of information and digitalization? So there's fun. There's a fun aspect of it where we create witty content. We've got witty content like games. We've got the polls that we do like every week. And there's also information and content that teaches. And all these forms of content is brought about by one single thing, which is research. And what research does is, research is basically like the foundation of whatever message the company, the social media marketing team wants to put out there. So all in all, I'm going to say the experience is a wholesome experience, right? So I do hope that answers your question. The second question I do have is, social media is an umbrella word that has the likes of Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. And which of these do I major in relations to Bookings Africa? Okay, so first things first, when it comes to the social media hemisphere, when it comes to the industry in itself, many of the social media managers you find out there, they've got like their various strengths. They've got their various, the parts that they're very, very in-depthly focused on. So they've got like their strengths, they've got their weaknesses. But for Bookings Africa, and I'll pertain to Bookings Africa, first thing I want you to understand is we believe strongly in the power of using digital solutions to solve problems. And being a technology-inclined company is just the same with social media. So we do not have one specific social media platform that we focus on. We major on all the different platforms. So yes, we are on YouTube, we are on Twitter, we are on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're even on WhatsApp. And as much as WhatsApp is not in itself, I wouldn't say it's not one of like the top, it's more like a messenger system. WhatsApp is what we use to converse with most of our customers, whereby they share their complaints and we'll forward these complaints to the customer success team to handle. So because we believe so much in the power of using digital solutions to solve problems, think about it. We have over 15,000 service providers. And what this translates to is a diverse range of people in different categories based on their age, their sex, their location. And all these users have their different preferences. And so some of these users might prefer to use Facebook as opposed to Twitter. So we can't say, just because I as a social media prefer Instagram to Facebook, I'm going to focus on just one platform alone. As a brand in itself, Bookings Africa, we want to reach all our audience. We want to reach every single person, regardless of their age, regardless of their sex, regardless of where they live. And we've got some of our service providers who would rather send a Facebook message than be on Twitter. Some people will say Twitter is too much of a toxic environment. So I love the fancy aesthetic pleasing Instagram. So I'd say we as a brand at Bookings Africa, we prefer we just want to be everywhere. We're literally everywhere. We're on YouTube. We've got like web series going on. We've got Face Off. We've got Songs and Shots. All these different platforms have their diverse roles that they play. And when it comes to the Bookings Africa message, the gig economy message, the monetizing your skills message, the getting booked, getting paid message, we are hands-on on it. And so we want to make sure that we are speaking the voice of every customer, every partner, and every client. So we are on all these platforms. So I hope that answers your question, because we are not going to just shoot ourselves in the leg by saying that we just want to stick to TikTok, the dancing part of social media alone. We really want to extend ourselves and give ourselves the benefit of that and allow people know that, okay, we are available at every single point in time. So if it's Instagram DM that you sent to us today, we are available to receive it. If it's a Twitter comment, if it's a Twitter retweet, or if it's a Facebook message, we are definitely available to receive these messages at any point in time. Okay, so another question that I have is, how has the social media platforms that we use been able to promote Bookings Africa in general? So basically, that's the major reason why we use social media. The whole point is to put the name bookingsafrica.com out there. We want people to know about us. And let me just give you like a bit of a backstory or some numbers that you can literally be working with. When I first started at Bookings Africa, the company had about 6,588 followers on Instagram. And in about 3 months, that number has scaled to 7,676 followers, which is a percentage growth rate of 116%. And I said 116%, which is well over 100% of added people, added users, added people who literally want to connect with us based on the content that we've put out there. And what we basically did, because I work with a team of people, what we basically did was target the pain points of our users. We addressed their questions and we looked at the company from the outside in. And when I say looking at the company from the outside, it basically means that we had to ask ourselves the hard questions. If I was introduced to Bookings Africa today, what would I want to know? Okay, so we use that information. We use that information to create captions, to create posts, videos, and we also produce this content in the voice that the users would understand. And the truth of the matter is, sometimes we get it wrong, and once we get it wrong, we re-strategize. For instance, LinkedIn as a social media platform in itself is a platform where you find a lot of professionals, right? And so the focus is to use much more of a business voice to communicate. And this differs differently from Instagram. For Instagram, you want to focus more on toned down writings, and of course the writing voice can be business-like, but what attracts a user to that content is the image, the graphics, the videos, and how captivating it will be for a user within the first 5 seconds of posting. So again, for each of these different platforms, you have to think holistically about what works for Twitter and how it differs for Instagram and how it differs to LinkedIn. All these different social media platforms, even though it's social media, they all have their different strategies. And it's quite imperative that even if it's the same content that we're reproducing and repurposing all the time, all for the sake of promoting the brand, it's essential that you note the platform that you're posting out this content to and how this information is going to be received. For example, a CEO on LinkedIn might not get your funny, witty, dancing video that might be produced on TikTok, even though they've got a fun side. So if they do want to see the fun side videos, they head on over to TikTok and they watch the fun videos. So it's the same for YouTube. YouTube is much more long form as opposed to TikTok, which is short span videos. People who just want quick information, very quickly absorb it and then move on to the next content. So we take a note of all the different platforms and we infuse that into our content and how we plan our content, right? So I think that's essentially how we've been able to use social media to promote the Bookings Africa brand. And based on the 100% growth that we've seen in the past 3 months, we're definitely sure that by the first quarter of 2022, we're going to be in the hearts and in the minds of a whole number of users. I'm talking about a 300% increase in the next couple of months by the time we hit 2022. So yeah, it's very possible for us to let people know what the Bookings Africa brand is all about just through the power of social media. So the next question says, when people make mention of social media, they only refer to it as posting a few pictures and write-ups. And if I could share more light on what it takes in building a good social media platform. So again, I talked earlier about, 100% growth that we saw in 3 months. Doing that, it takes a lot of planning. So one of the first things I'd say is researching our target market, knowing what it is that they want, maintaining a consistent posting schedule. Because the truth of the matter is all these different platforms have diverse algorithms that they work with, and as much as there is the algorithm, you've also got your audience and your community members who have a certain time in their hearts where they've placed your brand. And, being that you might have like brand colors and brand fonts and all those, things that have to do with design in itself. When you maintain a consistent posting schedule, it helps build trust between you and your consumers. And then I think the last point I would say is engaging with your audience, okay? Building a good social media presence is all about like engaging with your audience. In this case, I'll call them literally like your community members. So your community members are basically your users. For Bookings Africa, is basically your users, which consist of our clients, our partners, our service providers, every single subscriber to the Bookings Africa website, every single person who has downloaded our app and has signed up to it. All these people are part of our community. We also have like a Telegram community as well. So all these people, the more we engage with them, the more we share information with them about all the new features, the new products, the launches, the giveaways. All these form a part of what would inspire our users to keep engaging with our content. So today, if we post something fun, they'll definitely want to engage with something fun. And if we post something informative, something about the latest technological innovation in the world, they want to engage with that because they trust our brand. They trust that we would always bring them up to speed with the information that they need. So as much as we do the research, as much as we post consistently, you also want to engage with the people who are already on your platform. So like I said, we've got like over 7,000 followers on Instagram. Even on our other platforms, like on Twitter, we've got over 1,000 followers on Twitter. On LinkedIn, we've got over like 1,900 followers. So all these community members, they might be different in terms of their age, in terms of where they work, in terms of where they live. And it's quite essential for us to spread the word and spread the message that they need at a certain point in time about the company. We need to always keep them up to date. So engaging with them as much as they would engage with us, as much as they would like our posts, as much as they would share the post. If they post a comment, all well and good. We need to go out there, reach out to them and engage with them. Oh, thank you so much for liking our post. Thank you so much. Did you find this educative? Did you find this helpful? And I think that is one way we've been able to intentionally like build a good social media presence. So it's not just about the pretty pictures. It's not just about like the captions and the copywriting. That we do want to ensure that our users understand who we are as a brand and that they understand that we know who they are as people. And that's where the research even comes in at the end of the day. So the next question says, how do you manage your time as the social media manager for Bookings Africa? Because content creation is a whole lot. I think I'd say managing my time is quite an essential skill that every single person who works, and either you're working full-time, part-time, remote, hybrid, whatever it is, managing your time is an essential skill. So, I mean, for social media and in the social media space, we do have like certain softwares and certain apps that we use and utilize to plan our content ahead of time, just to make sure that we're staying on top of things. Because when it comes to content creation, there is a whole lot to do. I mean, we're talking about blogs, we're talking about newsletters, and it's not just about creating the content itself. It's just making sure that this content goes out as at when it is expected to. So I'm just going to leave a little bit of tip out there just in case someone was wondering. We do use a platform called Hootsuite. There are many more different platforms out there that a social media manager can use, but one of the platforms that we use at Bookings Africa is Hootsuite. We are looking to expand into other platforms, CRM tools as well, but for now, that's what I'm just going to share with you all. And I think the last question that I have, it talks about the gig economy and social media and basically impacts. And what I would just say to that is, when it comes to gig work in itself, Bookings Africa is such a vital tool. I think it's very, very essential for every single person to know that having such a platform or having such an opportunity to monetize your skills using Bookings Africa is a social platform. I'll say it's a social platform because Bookings Africa even allows you to discuss with your clients. I mean, you can chat with your clients right before your booking is done. So when it comes to gig work and doing whatever task it is within a short period of time, this is the role. This is what we do. We just want to make sure that everything is fast paced and, you're getting your money's worth of your time. So the amount of time you literally would spend on social media, you can transform that into, instead of, looking or stressing yourself, looking for clients, using the other tools of social media like Instagram, which they all have their role to play. All you need to do is share your unique link from Bookings Africa, share it to whatever messaging platform, to whatever social platform that you use. And by one click of a button, you already have your prospective client chatting with you. I mean, I feel like that's so impressive. It's so impressive. I tell a lot of our users who reach out to us and say, oh, they haven't gotten anyone book them yet. I let them know is, okay, you have an Instagram bio. Why don't you share your unique Bookings Africa link on your Instagram bio? Put it up there and have your clients book you, just one click of the button, you have somebody already chatting you up through the app. So yes, it's such an essential role that Bookings Africa plays in the gig economy. We know that there are a lot of youths out there who are probably job hunting or, job searching, and they just want to get into the market. But you've got a skill, and I mean, definitely there are not all skills that you can monetize, but there are quite a number of skills that you maybe have a passion for, whatever it is, be it a makeup artist, be it being a photographer, you have a passion for styling people. Get on today. Join us literally on Bookings Africa. Download the app. Sign up. Like, the sign up process is very seamless now. Go ahead, register, put in your information, make sure you put up your portfolio, make it as clear as day what it is you do. Have a wonderful bio, a bio that stands out, a bio that when your clients look at it, they can tell you that, oh man, this is the person I want to do this assignment or to handle this job for me. Because the gig work is very fast paced, and that is what is coming up right now. Like, that is what is funding a lot of people's work today. A lot of people's economic prowess today. I just wanted to share something very quickly. I mean, on my way here, I took one of these ride hailing apps, right? And I was speaking with the driver. And one of the things that she said was, it's quite possible for her to build a house, or rather buy a house in Banana Island in about 2 years, just by, waking up and having clients book her for a ride. And the ride could be 20 minutes, 15 minutes, but she already has that dream of literally buying a house sometime in the future. So it's the same thing with your gig work. It's the same thing with the job that you do. Through the power of social media, you can easily, just by sitting in your room, just by sitting in wherever it is, you can have somebody book you, and before you know it, in about 2 years, you're already buying houses. So I just want you to see that the possibility is limitless. It's literally limitless. Anyway, so that's all for today's episode. I hope I've been able to give you some perspective into the social media role in itself, my job, what I do. And before you go, I just want to remind you, if you are yet to sign up either as a client or a service provider, you need to get on the bandwagon today. You need to sign up today. Don't be caught slacking this holiday season. Don't be caught slacking. Download the app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store, which is also called iOS. And do ensure to follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok at Bookings Africa, or subscribe to our YouTube channel. On our YouTube channel, we have a couple of episodes of Face Off and Songs and Shots coming up in the coming weeks. So do ensure you stay tuned to our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/Bookings Africa. So thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Until next time, bye bye.